All right, going to be a quick one this week because this is my second take because the first one stopped recording. So I'm a little bit peeved, but welcome to the unshaven version of Tebows Hard Brady's hair. Been on vacation. I don't shave on vacation. You're welcome. All right, let's talk about Jude kicking my butt 9-5 in predictions so far. Let's change that this week. All right, so let's start off with the standings. And Sherry has taken the lead at 4-1. I am directly behind her at 3-2 with the most points scored in the league still. Tied with me is Bill, Gina, and Todd. And then at 2-3 is Jeff, Rashikagi, and Josh and Scott. And with his brand new shiny win, Tomahawk, Dwayne, down at the bottom on the board. I am still in the lead with points 4, followed by Bill. And me and him got about 30 points at least on the next people. So let's talk about what happened last week real quick here. I should have chose Dwayne last week to win because he did the same thing to me last year. I was on a roll. He come along, he wasn't on a roll, and he ended up winning. And I kind of saw that coming again, but I love myself, so I chose me. A-Chain had a big game, but really what it all came down to was Anthony Richardson got hurt. He went out with 4 points. 3 people on my team, Devontae Smith, Jake Ferguson, and, well, I guess Christian Watson ended up doing okay by the end because he caught like a 70-yard catch right at the end of the game, but it was all garbage time, so for the most part, I had 3 players. The last 3 players did absolutely nothing when they needed everything from them, and Anthony Richardson got hurt. A-Chain had a huge game for Dwayne. Golf did well, and Kobe. And, yeah. Hopefully we'll do better this week. Good job, Dwayne. In our next deal here, we have... Can you take him outside, please? Next deal here, last week we had Gina versus Scott, and the Queen ended up winning. George Kittle, we could pretty well George Kittle and Tua did it for, and the Bengals D, I guess, chipped in. Oh, well, yeah. Tony Pollard had a down game. Derrick Henry did as well, but on the other side with Scott, C.J. Stroud didn't have a very good game. CeeDee Lamb, Terry McLaurin, Mark Andrews, Zay Flowers, they all chipped in very little. But, all right. Moving on, we got Kirk versus Bill from last week. And Kirk ended up winning. I called it correctly. It was the week for the Bengals going against Arizona. 41 points for Jamar Chase. Jalen Hurts and the 49ers D won it for Rashikagi. On the other side, Alan Lazard did next to nothing for Bill. Hawkinson didn't do much. He got -1 for his kicker. Breece Hall had a decent week. Josh Allen, Steelers D. Got to get Amon-Ra back in there, Bill. All right. And there we go to Outrageous versus Josh. And Travis Etienne for Outrageous went off for 33 in London. Adam Thielen had 17 points. Cowboys D went -2. Yeah, you don't play teams against defenses against San Francisco. We should have learned that by now. On the other side, Josh lost because Jordan Love on Monday night. He needed very little points from Jordan Love. He needed an average day for a quarterback from Jordan Love to win the week, and that did not happen, and that is frustrating. I've been there many times on a Monday night waiting for an average day and not getting it. Yeah, rough one. Josh deserved better in that. Alrighty, last game from last week. I called this one correct pretty well because DJ Moore pretty well had it ended on Thursday with 46 points, and the rest of Todd's team didn't do much. But he didn't have to after 46. I mean, half the points were scored on Thursday night for Todd. Jeff tried, but Saquon never stepped on the field. He was a late cancellation, but I added up the points here and everything, and there's nothing that Jeff could have done different besides picking up free agents. Everybody he had he would have lost no matter what. Who he would have played it wouldn't have made a difference. So, yep. All right, let's go to week number 6. If I can figure out how to get there. And I cannot. Okay, week number 6. What a crappy video this is. All right. So, starting out, me versus Todd. I'm going to kick his butt. Jerick McKinnon, the beast. Jerick McKinnon got a whopping 2 points on Thursday. You can't count on McKinnon. And then he's also got Cam Akers in it, running back. Rough running back week for Todd here. And then Justin Fields, DJ Moore, for the most part, probably going to cancel each other out unless Justin Fields throws some to Cole Kmet. That might save my day there because I'm starting Justin Fields. And then McCaffrey and David Montgomery are just going to tear up his 2 running backs. Tyreek Hill and A.J. Brown should almost cancel each other out. Michael Pittman will probably do well because he has Gardner Minshew this week. We'll see how Metcalf does. I think I have the better tight end because Darren Waller just hasn't worked out there. So, Bills D may go off this week against the Giants though. But I'm going to give myself the win here just because of his 2 running backs versus my 2 running backs. It's going to be a lot for him to overcome with that. All right, moving on here, Rashikagi versus Scott. So, very interesting that Rashikagi is sitting Jalen Hurts this week going against the Jets. I mean, the Jets are a tough defense, but that is surprising. But he's got Kirk Cousins in there going against Chicago. And Scott still has Trevor Lawrence in there. He did pick up DeMarcado, Jason Connor's backup. But I don't think it's going to be enough here to stop Kirk. You still got to get a new quarterback, Scott. It is good Austin Eckler's back for you though. But that Browns D is going to have a rough go this week. Yep. Kirk, winner. All right. Josh versus the Queen here. So Tua is going to go absolutely crazy against Carolina. Derrick Henry might have a rough week against Baltimore. Tebows is going to go off against Cleveland. You pretty well play any Rams player you got this week because they're going against Arizona. Yeah, and she's got two Rams wide receivers going against Arizona. That's going to be a good week. Josh is pulling the surprise move because he is confused about his Indianapolis running backs, so he's just going to play them both. Why not? So he's playing Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss. I guess whoever scores a touchdown for Indianapolis on the running back side, Josh is going to get it. He's also playing Matthew Stafford, which is actually, Josh, I will give you kudos for playing Matthew Stafford because she has Kupp and Puka, and you have just wiped out those 2 wide receivers by playing Matthew Stafford. So nice counter move there. But I think, man, that's interesting, though. I didn't really think about that before. Josh, I'm going to give it to you. I didn't really think about that move before, but Matthew Stafford, play Matthew Stafford, and she has 2 Rams wide receivers on there. That's going to wipe them out with 1 player. And then I'm going to give it to you again, Josh. I'm going to jinx you again. Giving it to Josh. That Matthew Stafford move has me stymied. All right. Here we go with Tomahawks versus Bill. And I am going to go with the Tomahawks again this week. Josh Allen's going to have a good game for Bill, but in the end, I think Raheem Mostert's going to go crazy because he's the #1 running back in Miami right now with A-Chain not playing. Jared Goff's going to have a decent game. Kyron Williams going to go crazy against Arizona. I don't care for DeAndre Hopkins' play this week. I don't think it's the week to play him, but let's see. Who do you have? I would put Marquise Brown in there over DeAndre Hopkins, but that's just me. Who knows? Alrighty. Also, Bill. What are you doing with Amon-Ra on the bench? What are you thinking? Not the smart move there. Especially whenever he's playing Jared Goff. That would take away points from Goff right there. You need to get Amon-Ra in there. All right. So, Sherry versus Jeff, our last matchup of the week. So, we got Patrick Mahomes, who does his average self there, 21 points. And then Josh Jacobs versus New England. Going to be tough sledding there for Jacobs. Travis Etienne is going to have a good day. Waddle, Carolina, should have a decent day. Evans is always seems to make points somehow. Could be an interesting matchup. Very interesting. DeAndre Swift's going to have a rough day probably against the Jets. Kamara and Chris Olave against Houston for Jeff. Be interesting. Dallas Goedert. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sherry on this one just because all the Philly players are playing the Jets. Should be a rough week for them. So those are my picks. We'll get Jude in here. Jude.
I think that Najitwa will beat the Detonator. I think that Arcade Clan will beat Too Many Cooks. I think that Resort Queen Fant will beat Car 54, Where Are You? I think that the Tomahawk will beat Hear My Team. And I think that Outrageous will beat Just In Case.
Alright, so Drew's winning 9-5. Let's see what happens this week. Good luck.